Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So if you guys are brand new, I want to say hi and welcome. My name is Alyssa, and on my channel I enjoy making tarot pick a card readings like this. And for today's video, we are going to talk about what upcoming blessings are coming your way. So this is a timeless reading, meaning that at any point you happen to stumble upon this video, this is going to dive in and see what blessings are coming your way, okay? So we have 3 piles for you guys to select from today. We have pile number 1 with the koala spirit, pile number 2 with the nightingale spirit, and pile number 3 with the squirrel spirit. If you need to, go ahead and pause the video to meditate on which pile you are feeling most drawn to. As always, I will have the timestamps listed below in the description box, so once you have selected your pile, you can go ahead and fast forward to your reading. I do want to say a quick thank you guys so much for those of you who have recently subscribed to the channel. It truly means the world to me to see all the people that have recently subscribed, those of you who have commented and liked on my recent videos. Thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate it. You guys are continuing to motivate me to put more content out there for you guys. So I'm really hoping that you guys are enjoying what you are seeing. So I definitely wanted to express my gratitude to you guys first and foremost before we really dive into today's reading. Like I said, you guys truly mean the world to me, and I feel so blessed that you guys are here watching this video today, and my hope is that I am able to continue putting out more content for you guys, okay? So again, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started with group number 1, and I will have those timestamps for you guys in the description box. So I will see you guys at your pile selection. Hey group 1, so if you guys selected the koala spirit, then this is your reading. So I've gone ahead and laid out your oracle, or your tarot cards, and we're going to go ahead and go through your oracle cards in a moment. So for your tarot cards, we have the World, the Tower, 6 of Materials, also known as the 6 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Emotions, also known as the Ace of Cups. So what blessings are coming your way? So right off the bat, this seems pretty interesting, group 1, because we have the World and the Tower. So what's striking to me, or at least what's really standing out to me, is the Tower card. Now, anytime the Tower card really comes up in a reading, this usually talks about sudden change. And it's usually, for a lot of people, it can be considered kind of like a scary card, in the sense of like, this is out of your control kind of change. But the positive that I will say about this is that it's usually a change that's meant for the better, okay? Now, this may feel, very chaotic, or even, like I said, very sudden. But the beautiful thing about this is, as I said, is that you guys have the World here. And the World to me tells me that this opens up a bunch of possibilities or new opportunities for you that maybe you hadn't necessarily considered before. Okay, so with this sudden change, this is going to bring about, new beginnings for you guys, which is really exciting. Okay, now the 6 of Materials, or the 6 of Pentacles, this card really deals with a lot of, abundance and give and take, meaning that good things will be coming to you in the form of possibly, money, finances. Things could be coming your way to where you will be able to maybe even share that, help others out if you are able to, or this could just mean, again, that you are just going to be in a good place, overall, like spiritually, financially, emotionally. Like, you're going to feel, I think, from this change here with the Tower, this is going to be bringing about, I think, a sense of, inner balance, which is really exciting, because again, I know the change can be a little scary, especially with that Tower energy, because it can seem so sudden. But again, this is going to be a a good time for you guys to receive the abundance that is coming. Now, the Ace of Cups, or Ace of Emotions here, this is beautiful because this really does talk about new beginnings. That's what all of the aces usually deal with, is some form of a new beginning. Now, what I love about this card specifically is that this can talk about a new relationship, new love interest, or even finding out that you are going to maybe give birth or have, find out that you are pregnant, if you're a female watching this. So, this is all about, like I said, new life, new beginnings. So this, would explain, definitely the sudden change, for those of you who maybe necessarily weren't expecting, this sudden surprise to come about. Obviously this is a joyous time. This is a happy time. Like I said, world may feel like it's kind of, out of your control, so to speak. It might feel a little chaotic at the moment, but I promise you guys, group one, that like these blessings, this new, chapter in your life is going to be well worth it. Okay. So I'm really excited for you. Now, if you notice on the card here in which you selected the koala spirit, this talks about spirit has a plan. So trust in spirit, or trust in the divine, that this change, this sudden, maybe a little bit of chaos, trust that it is due to divine timing, that there is a master plan behind all of this change. So even though maybe in the moment it might seem a little scary, it might feel unnerving for some of you, especially because if you don't really do well with a lot of change, trust that spirit has your back, that the world is on your side, the universe is on your side, and good things are coming to you. So that's really exciting. So let's take a look at your other oracle cards that we have. So the first one we have, these are the soul's journey. These are lesson cards. So the first one we have is freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Beautiful. Perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. Absolutely. And then we have gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Ooh, I love this. So this is really good to kind of keep in mind, especially with that Tower energy, to have that bit of gratitude, kind of, again, just trust in the divine timing, trust in, whatever is occurring, whatever is happening, there is good at the end, of the tunnel, so to speak. This is going to work out in due time. Okay. So the next cards that we have for your oracle cards, the first one we have is ask, launch, soar, request. So this would be a good time to maybe either ask for assistance, ask for help, especially during, maybe this little chaotic time. Okay, it's okay to ask for clarity, or even, trusting in spirit, asking for help, or praying, whatever it is that you believe in, as far as, if you connect spiritually, just asking for maybe even a sign, just for something to kind of point you into the right direction, especially if you guys feel maybe lost in the moment, or feel like you're not sure if you're making the right choice, or if you're necessarily on the right path. It's always good just to kind of maybe ask for assistance or second opinion, to kind of help reassure you. Okay. The next one we have is look ahead. So visionary, planning, preparation. Okay, so yes, so planning ahead for this new beginning, for this new cycle in your life. So if this is indicating, you starting a family or a new relationship, whatever it may be, obviously this is going to take some time for you to plan, prepare, for your future. All right, so the next oracle card we have, seeking and finding. Okay, so this usually talks about, seeking and finding answers, I feel like, within. So just kind of getting more clarity. Okay, this can also be talking about looking into yourself to find, the answers that you're seeking. So again, if you're at a point, again, where you're just having a little bit of self-doubt because of the sudden change that the Tower energy is bringing, this is going to be a good time for you to just kind of have faith, again, within yourself, and just trust that, things will already, come to you naturally, or that things will just sort of fall where they may. And, I think in due time, you'll be able to kind of see exactly why things turned out the way that they did. Okay. So the next card we have, this is Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundation, divine plan. Oh, I love this. Okay, so again, trusting in that this is, part of the divine plan. As it said over here, Spirit has a plan. So this is the second time plan has come into play here. So again, for those of you who might be second guessing or wondering, am I on the right path, or why is this going on, or why did this, change have to come about? What does this mean? Trust that it is for the better, and that this is something new, something exciting coming your way for sure. Okay. So the next two messages that we have, these are from your angels. The first one we have is let go. Okay. And then we have be assertive. All right. So I love the fact that we have the let go here, because to me, I feel like this is more so letting go of your fear. Okay. Letting go of any negativity that you might be having out of, fear from this change. I'm going to move the camera over just a tad here. Okay. Again, so just, letting go of any self-doubt that maybe you might have due to this, change, or whatever this Tower energy is bringing about. The be assertive card for me is exactly how it says. Be assertive in trusting yourself and in trusting the divine, that this is happening for a reason, that this change that was brought about is, basically your blessing in disguise. Okay. So just trust the process. Allow the chips to fall where they may. And I promise you guys that you'll start to see, like, okay, there was a reason for this. This brought me, a new relationship, or this brought me a new beginning, a chance to start over, to start fresh. I have these opportunities in front of me, and all I have to do is just extend my hand out and take. Okay, so I think that's ultimately the main message here, is what I'm seeing for your blessings. Okay. So last but not least, we have from the Secret Garden Oracle cards. The first one we have is Wallflower. Look for the crack in the concrete to find your way out. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So again, if you start to feel stuck at any point, especially, again, I think of this tower, look at everything's just kind of crumbling down. And I think of the cracks in that, with this energy, if you start to feel like things are just kind of coming down upon you, look for your own way out. Promise you, this is supposed to be a change that is necessary. You will be able to overcome the situation. Okay. Next one we have is grow. All flowers must grow through dirt. So yeah, even though things might feel, a little difficult, I would have to say, in the beginning, especially, like I keep saying, this change, there is a reason for that. You are going to rise above this. Okay. And last but not least, we have courage. When picking roses, don't fear the thorns. I love that. So again, I feel like the main message from this whole reading was really this Tower energy. And for those of you, if you do happen to be fearful, or if you happen to have any doubt, this message, I truly feel, is all about just having, you know, the courage and strength to believe in yourself, that you will rise above this, that these new beginnings are meant for you for a more divine purpose. And honestly, I'm really excited to see what exactly is coming out for you guys. So if you guys are having a new relationship, you meet someone, or you're leveling up in your relationship, or if you are finding out that you're starting a family, or that you were maybe given a new job opportunity. Like I said, like the world, I feel like, is your oyster at this point. You know, whatever, you know, change came about, I promise you that's when you guys will start to see these new opportunities come forward to you guys. So group number one, that was your reading. Definitely let me know in the comment section below if this resonated with you. I would love to hear from you guys. And I would also love to hear exactly what this change was. So definitely feel free to share below. I'm sure many of us would love to hear what you guys have to say, okay? So without further ado, if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and consider giving it a thumbs up. It truly helps out the channel. And also consider hitting that subscribe button and join the family so you can see future videos like this one. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to our second group. Hey, group two. So if you guys selected the Nightingale Spirit, then this is your reading. So I've gone ahead and laid out your tarot cards, and we're going to go ahead and go through your oracle cards right after. So for your tarot cards today, we have the Nine of Voices, also known as the Nine of Swords, in reverse. We have the Seven of Emotions, also known as the Seven of Cups, in reverse. The Star card, and the Ten of Emotions, or Ten of Cups. So what blessings are coming your way, group two? So this is pretty interesting. So from what I'm getting with your cards is we're going to start with these two first. So the Nine of Swords here tells me that there might have been a moment, or might have been some time where things have been pretty heavy, or maybe I think they've been kind of weighing on you for a little bit. Like something has just been constantly on your mind to the point where I feel like it was almost just like eating up at you. But now I'm getting the strong sense that you've almost been able to kind of get a handle on it, or like just kind of get a hold of it, so to speak, to where you're no longer allowing it to control you or to control your every thought. If anything, this is more so speaking to you just being more consciously aware of your thoughts and finding ways to overcome them, to where, again, like I said, it doesn't hold you back, or it doesn't like cripple you, so to speak, and just, you know, thinking, you know, those negative thoughts over and over. Okay. Now, the Seven of Cups here in reverse to me is also, again, kind of telling me that I feel like almost as like a distraction or a way to kind of help combat, you know, these feelings or whatever that has been weighing on your mind. It's almost like you're trying to put your, or maybe stretch yourself too thin is really what I was looking for, you know, as far as trying to keep yourself busy, right? So if this has been your way of just trying to deal with whatever has been weighing on your mind, you know, in a way that's good. Again, you know, you obviously want to keep yourself busy, and you want to try to keep yourself focused on other things, you know, to move forward. However, you obviously want to be a little aware not to stretch yourself too thin, you know, in this regard. So with the Seven of Cups, what this is really kind of speaking to me about is just more so kind of being consciously aware as to, you know, what would actually serve you best, and sticking with that instead of just trying to have your hand in different things, just so that way you stay busy or stay, you know, focused on those. Maybe just kind of narrow it down a little bit, just to maybe one or two things. So again, you're not feeling overwhelmed, because again, I feel like whatever this situation was that was causing you to really dwell on, it took a lot out of you. And I think it's taken you a lot to kind of get to where you guys are at now, to where you are consciously aware of how it was making you feel. So again, obviously you guys are taking the necessary steps that you need to get yourself out of that situation or to get out of that headspace. So you obviously don't want to continue to weigh yourself down or spread yourself too thin. So this would be a good time, from what I'm seeing here, to really just kind of narrow, as I mentioned, to like one or two things. So that way you can really give your full time and attention to that, if that makes sense. Okay. Now the star card, I love the star card. To me, this is more so like about wishes and hope and, fulfillment. I'm getting the strong sense here that you guys, with what blessing is coming your way, is really just what you have been trying to focus on, just trying to shift your mindset onto. So if you've been really hoping for a positive outcome, from this situation, this is what I'm seeing, is that it's going to lead to that. Like your wish is going to come true, or that your hope, your prayers have been answered, whatever it may be. Okay. So if you have, as I mentioned, if you have been like really, just overwhelmed, as I mentioned earlier, just with whatever the situation was, and you've been really wanting to just kind of see it through, or just kind of see it turn around, I'm getting this sense that it will, because of the fact that you have been consciously aware of not allowing this to eat up at you anymore. Okay. So the fact that you have the star card and the 10 of cups, the 10 of cups is all about, family, abundance, love, so this to me tells me that if this has to deal with a family situation, and let's say, I'm just using this as an example. If you have had any issues as of late with your family, and it has caused you to obviously be weighing really heavy on you, obviously, it's family. You want to find a way to reach one another, a way to reconnect, and a way to resolve any of these issues. And if that has been what you have been, praying for or hoping for, that, things will just kind of settle down to where you guys can reconnect. This is ultimately what I'm seeing is just that. Okay. And the fact that you guys have with your Nightingale spirit here, the message on there is love is all around. So having love at the root of everything is really, I think, what is going to continue to motivate you and to motivate, this outcome for you and your loved ones, especially if this is dealing, like I said, with a family situation. Okay. So let's take a look at your oracle cards and we can get a little bit more clarification. So your first oracle card we have, this is from the Butterfly Oracle. We have sentimental feelings. Okay. So this situation could be causing you to really, again, dive into your feelings and think about what is very sentimental to you, what really matters to you. And the fact that we have love here, again, really speaks to our emotions, speaks to, like I said, what truly matters, right, in this moment. So for me, when I think of sentimental, I can't help but think of family. I can't help but think of like the past, right? So this card is really, I feel like, just trying to get you to pay attention to something from the past that's really having a significant value or reference to you now, okay? So whether this is talking about like a specific memory, from the past that you haven't necessarily dealt with, or that has always just kind of lingered on, or that you, like I said, that you've kind of carried over with you, this is now a good time for you to maybe like reconnect or revisit that, whether by, talking with your loved ones about it, or seeking, maybe guidance or, counseling, by seeing a therapist or counselor, whatever it may be, just to kind of help work through these feelings, especially if you find that this has been what's been weighing heavy on you, like in the past. Like I said, I get this strong sense because of this Nine of Swords here in reverse, that I truly feel for many of you, and, correct me if I'm wrong, but that this was really more so just something that you had weighed on you for a long time. And like I said, this might have been years, months, you know, that you have had, you know, this really weigh on you. However, being at where you are currently now, you have found a way to, I don't want to say necessarily overcome, but that you found a way to be more consciously aware of how it has affected you and trying to be more proactive in either rendering this, fixing this in some way. So if that means you're going to, you know, address this head on with your loved ones and try to make amends in that regard, or just seeking counseling and just getting, you know, just some sort of closure, you know, for yourself. Okay. So let's take a look at your other oracle cards that we have. So these are from your angels. The first one that we have is abundance. Beautiful. And improving health. Okay, so part of your blessings is definitely abundance. And now abundance can mean a multitude of things. It doesn't necessarily have to just mean like finances, but it can just mean abundance in like love, friendships, family, you know, just that feeling of being abundant. Again, sorry, I do apologize for the peacocks. Like, they are super loud right now. And then improving health. This, I feel like, encompasses not just health, like physically, but also your mental health. That to me is really what is standing out, particularly just because of this Nine of Swords energy. Mental health is very, very important. And I know a lot of people don't really like to talk about it just because it still kind of seems almost a little taboo, especially for like older generations, especially if like you have like older parents that might look at talking to someone as like, oh no, I'm not crazy, or, you know, whatever it may be. You know, like, it is important to take care of your mental health. And if talking to someone or seeking counseling or things like that is what's going to help you through this, then do it. Absolutely. You know, it's very, very important to take care of yourself, both physically and mentally. Okay, so let's take a look at your next oracle card. The first one we have is the Key. So this says mystery, moving forward, and knowledge. I like this. So yeah, again, for me, moving forward is definitely what I'm seeing as far as like being able to move on from the past, for sure. And just knowledge, whether this means like talking it out with, you know, a counselor or someone, or just talking it over like with your loved ones, maybe getting like a clearer picture, maybe from their perspective, and it kind of fills in any of the blanks that maybe from your own personal experiences. You know, this might kind of fill in any of those holes that you've had in your narrative of how things have made you feel, you know, and just hearing from them, this might kind of, you know, erase some of that, you know, uncertainty, or just, you know, what's the word that's really jumping out? Like, you know, any cloudiness that maybe you had experienced, you know, from this situation. So like, you seeking the answers from your loved ones actually might give you better clarity in order to move past the situation. Okay. So let's take a look at what else we have. So for your next oracle card, we have Akasha. So this says, your guidance is divinely guided. Love this. Okay, so yeah, definitely trust that in this process that you are on the right path to healing, especially any situations that have recently come about that you, like I said, that you've been really wanting to try to work through, you know, especially with that star card here, you know, with that sense of hope or faith. This is just kind of telling you that to just trust any of the signs or feelings, like your gut feelings that you have, that you're on the right path, that you're doing what you can to basically help better yourself. Okay, so if at any point that you find yourself wondering or guessing like, will this work out? Will I be able to get through this? Look for a sign. And I promise you that that will really kind of tell you or help tell you that this is, you know, exactly where you're supposed to be and you're doing exactly what you can. Okay. So next, let's take a look at your other oracle cards. So the first one that we have is acceptance. This says, I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Okay, very powerful. And we have loneliness. I know that I am never alone. Very powerful. Okay, so yeah, let's start with this one. So acceptance. So the I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. This is really powerful. And I feel like for those of you, excuse me, who do go out to seek any guidance, whether you go to a counselor or a therapist or, you know, maybe even a spiritual teacher, if you happen to seek out any information or any help during this time, this might be something that does come up, you know, and especially if you're dealing with things from the past, you know, accepting that you can't change what already happened. What you can change, okay, what you can change is how you feel or how you decide to handle things moving forward. That is what you can change, you know, from this situation. All right. So if you do find that that does come up, which usually that does, especially if you're asking for assistance, you know, again, I think that could be a sign right there in and of itself, you know, through your healing process. The loneliness card, the reason why I like this is because it states, I know that I am never alone. So trusting that, you know, you do have people in which you can confide in, whether it's other family members or friends, again, people that you go to seek counsel from, you're not alone. Like, you do have people that are there who will help you, who can help you, especially if this is a difficult time, you know, for you and what you were trying to overcome. Okay. And your last oracle card we have is beauty. And this says, dare to be tender and strongly vulnerable. That's really powerful. So allowing yourself, you know, to be vulnerable. Okay. But finding the beauty within this. Okay. So, you know, the fact that you guys have been able to, you know, kind of overcome or just kind of be more consciously aware of your feelings, you know, how you felt about the past or how you have been feeling about this situation that has weighed on you, and learning to just kind of come to terms with how you can move forward is very beautiful in and of itself. So the fact that you guys are able to still have so much love, and I feel so much, you know, compassion and wanting to be able to move forward is really what's going to bring you that sense of abundance. Okay. So group 2, that was your reading. Definitely let me know in the comment section below if this resonated with you. I would love to hear from you guys. If you enjoyed this reading, please go ahead and consider giving it a thumbs up. It truly helps out the channel. And if you also enjoyed it, please consider joining the channel by hitting that subscribe button. I would love to have you guys a part of this growing fam. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and move on to our final group. Hi, group 3. So if you guys selected the squirrel spirit, then this is your message. So I've gone ahead and laid out your tarot cards, and then we're going to go ahead and go through your oracle cards right after. So for your tarot cards, we have the 3 of Inspiration, also known as the 3 of Wands in reverse, the Knight of Inspiration, Knight of Wands, the High Priestess in reverse, the Magician, and the 10 of Materials, also known as the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so what blessings are coming your way, group 3? So this is really interesting because I'm seeing a picture here. So let's start from the very beginning, shall we? So the 3 of Wands in reverse usually indicates that there might be a sense of feeling frustrated or just feeling like just things aren't necessarily going how you had originally hoped. This might feel like you're experiencing obstacle after obstacle, like just, it's almost like you can't catch a break. Okay. And that can be very, defeating at times for sure, especially when you're trying to, just get ahead of the game and something new comes along and it's almost like it just becomes harder and harder. That's where that Three of Wands in reverse really comes into play here. But what's interesting is that the Knight of Inspiration or Knight of Wands really talks about, wanting to take, necessary action to move forward. Like this is all about like forward movement, being very passionate, willing to take risks. And I love this about you guys because I feel like that's ultimately like what the root of your core really kind of speaks to. Like you're a risk taker. It's like, you know what? I don't care how many times I get knocked down. Like I'm still going to get back up. I'm still going to go ahead and go for it. And I know at times that might be kind of hard to get to that mentality, especially if like you've been kind of knocked down repeatedly. But this is where I feel like that squirrel spirit comes into play, where it's believing in yourself. Okay. So no matter how many times you feel knocked down or how many times you feel like this just isn't going the way that you had hoped, keep that faith within yourself. Believe in yourself that you will overcome this, that you will get through this, okay? Now, the High Priestess here in reverse really talks about you getting more in touch with your higher self, okay? So if you feel that you're kind of like out of balance, that things just aren't going the way in which you'd hope, this might be a really good time to try to tap in to your higher self, into your intuition, and that can maybe like help guide you or help lead you into the direction in which you're trying to get yourself in, okay? I feel like once you guys kind of get there, that's where you're going to start to see the abundance come into play, okay? Because I see it here. The Magician and the Ten of Pentacles. The Magician is all about manifesting. This is about making things happen, being the creator, so to speak, so the fact that we have the Magician in this group really speaks to me in the sense that you guys are going to make things happen. And I feel like it's because of the persistence in which you have within yourself that's going to get you to this point, okay? Now, what I love even more is the fact that we have the Ten of Pentacles. Now, the Ten of Pentacles is really all about, family connectedness. This is about abundance in and of itself. This can be financially. This can just be, again, within your family, just having like a very solid foundation. Okay. So if you have been really just trying to get to this place where you finally are making enough money to where you can provide for your family, this is, basically like your end game, right? Or this could be a point in which you're trying to buy a home, something that's going to make you feel strong and secure, not only within yourself, but for your family or for your loved ones. Okay. So I know that it can feel a little discouraging, especially if things haven't necessarily been working out the way that you had been hoping. But so long as I mentioned, you continue to believe in yourself, this is where you're going to end up. Okay. So let's take a look at your oracle cards so that way maybe we can get a little bit more clarification with everything. So for your butterfly oracle cards, the first one we have is courage. Love that. Again, believe in yourself. So just having courage, having faith in yourself during this process that anything is possible. And gracefully aging. So that's interesting too. So I kind of take this more so as like a sense of maturity for sure. Just, for those of you who really are trying to be at a place where you are financially secure or just secure enough for your loved ones, for your family, that's a sense of maturity for sure. Being able to look out for others, not just yourself, that does take a strong sense of, maturity in and of itself for that, right? Now, this can also mean in some cases for some of you, if you are, a little, I don't want to say old. I don't like using that word, but if you are, you know, in the mature age group, okay, nothing wrong with that. This just means, you know, not being, you know, afraid of that or being too shying away from that. You know, this is all about accepting your hard work, your years of hard work of getting to where you are, and appreciating that and seeing the beauty in that, okay? And understanding that there is going to be people that are going to be looking to you one day for guidance. It's going to be looking to you and go, how did you get there? You know, how did you get to this point, right? Like, people are going to want to know, what's your secret? And, you know, in a way that is going to be based off of the wisdom in which you've gained over the years, you know, from, you know, maybe these hardships, these ups and downs, right? But the fact that you've persevered, that you've overcome, that is really what's going to, you know, be helpful to the younger generation or to those who come after you, right? So this is all about just kind of being accepting of that and knowing that what you're doing is going to be very helpful and beneficial to people later on, you know, as you continue to grow and age, you know, and just accepting that, you know, just trusting, you know what, I'm going to age gracefully and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. All right, let's take a look at your next oracle cards. The first one that we have is change. So this says, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Love that. So all about positive change here. Next we have love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Love that. And then we have honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. I love this. So being honest, obviously, not only to others, but to yourself is very important, especially when it comes to believing in yourself, right? You know, just being able to, you know, be honest with how you're feeling or what it is that you're truly wanting and going after it, you know, not trying to shy away from any of that or not trying to, you know, lie to yourself like, no, I don't really want it, but you do, you know, kind of a thing. So this is really powerful for sure. And the fact that you guys do have change here as well, you guys are trying to make a change for yourself. You're trying to level up. You're trying to rise above, right? So this is really powerful for you guys. So I'm really excited to see what else we have. We have acknowledgement, seeing, knowing, and acceptance. Okay, so I like the fact that this is the owl. You know, the owl to me is very like a wise creature. At least that's kind of like what I equate it with, is like wisdom. So the fact that they see, they know all, hence the wisdom. And that's really kind of what I feel like kind of speaks to your guys' energy. Like you see, you know, you accept, you know, things almost as they are. And it's just from your experience, you know, from what you've gone through, from your life experiences. Okay. The next we have unity, connectedness, harmony, equilibrium. Oh, I love that. So part of your blessing is having that sense of harmony, unity. Okay, that to me really speaks to that 10 of Pentacles that we've got there. And then we have togetherness, loyalty, fellowship, and bonding. So again, 10 of Pentacles energy is really what's kind of like shouting out from here, you know, with that togetherness. So really just kind of celebrating being together, being connected, you know, with your loved ones in that regard. Okay. All right. So the next oracle card that we have, this is from your angels. This says, there's something better. Oh, that's exciting. So if for whatever reason, this situation that you've been trying to overcome or that you've been trying to get through has not been working out, even though you continue to be persistent, trust that maybe there is something better. So still persevere, still continue to keep going after what it is that you're wanting, but know that there's definitely something better coming your way here. So that's exciting. All right. And for your other oracle cards, we have Dance with Life. Do something to change your energy. Okay, so this could just be calling to, you know, again, whatever this Three of Wands energy is, just to kind of change it up so that way you continue to persevere. Okay, next we have creating heaven on earth. It's happening. All right, and then the last one is trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? That's very powerful. So like if you knew 100% that you would be supported in anything that you did, what would that be? Think about it. And I think for a lot of you, you probably know exactly what that would be, especially if, you know, having the Magician card here, you trying to manifest, you know, these things into reality. If you knew that you could accomplish that goal or whatever it is that you're setting out to do, you know, look at it in that regard. I think of like the law of attraction. If you're trying to manifest something, you're trying to achieve it, live your life as if though you've already achieved it, kind of a thing. It's kind of like shifting your mentality, and that could be where that change comes into play here, you know, as was mentioned here. Okay, so understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So if that means like, you know, changing your mindset in order to get what you're desiring, then that might be something that you would need to apply in this regard. Okay, so your last oracle cards that we have here, these are from the Secret Garden Oracle. The first one we have is Discover. And this one says, look at the early dewdrops before they disappear with the morning sun. So this to me really kind of speaks about like just kind of being more aware of your surroundings, more aware of what's going on, just ultimately around you, and how you can either change this, you know, what's going on, or accept what's going on. So, you know, just being more consciously aware, I think, is really what's going to kind of help you get to where you're trying to get, or get to where you're trying to go. We have change again. So as with the falling leaves, embrace change. Okay, so group 3, part of your blessing is definitely going to require a bit of change here. Okay, change is good. It's not always scary. Actually, one of our other groups we had actually did deal with some change as well. So in that, for them, I know could probably be a little scary, as I mentioned in that reading, but same thing I'm going to say to you guys, you know, change might feel scary in the moment, especially if it's unexpected or if it's maybe not necessarily wanted, but trust that usually it's meant for the better. So for you guys, group 3, I'm really excited to see what exactly, you know, it is that you're trying to manifest. You know, are you trying to get a new home, a sense of security for your loved ones? I want to know. Definitely let me know in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this reading, please go ahead and consider giving it a thumbs up. It truly helps out my channel. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate every single one of you who clicked on this video today, and definitely consider joining the family if you are not already by hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can stay updated anytime I upload new videos. Okay, so I hope you guys have a wonderful night, day, evening, wherever you are in this beautiful world, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.